Retirement looks safe, but it can be full of pitfalls. Now, if you're working on how you want your retirement to look, don't overlook what I'm about to show you, because just one wrong move could cost you thousands of dollars. Retirement comes with a ton of decisions. And today I'm revealing 5 of the most common mistakes that retirees and soon-to-be retirees make. The kind that are hard to reverse and easy to regret. And this is just part 1. In part 2, I'll reveal 5 traps that specifically target retirees. And I'll show you exactly how to avoid those as well. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. And whether it's pitfalls or traps, I've got solutions. When it comes to retirement, there's no owner's manual, so let me help fill in some of those blanks. So let's get to it. Okay, number 1 is Medicare Advantage plans. Now, you've seen the commercials, I'm sure. I mean, they sound amazing, right? It's like this all-in-one big package that, everybody's happy. It includes dental and gym memberships. And yeah, what those commercials don't reveal are the negative aspects of Advantage plans. Advantage plans have limited doctor networks. They require prior authorization on many routine tests and procedures. And the worst part is your plan is subject to change each year. What the plan looks like when you're 65 could be totally different when you're 70. Your doctor may be far removed from that accepted, network. Another limitation is most Medicare Advantage plans, they offer either none or very limited stays in skilled rehab or nursing facilities. Medicare currently covers 21 days in one of those covered facilities. And I can speak from experience. Those 21 days are lifesavers when it comes to yourself or someone you love if they've experienced an injury or a fall. After the hospital stay, which is usually very brief, they want you out of there. They're ready for the next person coming in. So that 21 days that you could get in a nursing rehab facility will get you back on your feet. Now, let's just say that you have a Medicare Advantage plan, and at age 70, you're done with it. You want out. You want to just go back to traditional Medicare with a Medigap policy attached to it. You can do that, but here's the catch. You are not guaranteed acceptance into a Medigap plan at that point. You could be denied due to pre-existing conditions, or the premiums could be shockingly expensive at that point. So yes, Medicare Advantage is an option, but go in with your eyes wide open, because it can be great at 65. But years down the road, it can be cumbersome and aggravating, hard to get out of, right when you need it the most. Okay, number 2, let's talk about IRMAA, which stands for Income Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. That's a mouthful. So we're just going to call it IRMAA. IRMAA is an extra charge on your Medicare premiums, and it's based on your income level, your modified adjusted gross income, which we're going to call that MAGI going forward. So for your 2024 Medicare premium amount, Social Security will look back at your MAGI for 2022, 2 years prior. And I'm going to pop up a chart here so you can see the breakdown. Now let's just say if you're single and your MAGI was under $97,000, then the standard Medicare premium of $174 per month would apply. Now, different brackets apply if you're married. But let's say you're a single income earner of $125,000 a year. Now, that's when IRMAA comes into play. You can see from the chart that your Medicare premium jumps to $349 a month, plus an extra $33 for Part D, which is prescription drugs. That's $383 a month. more than double the standard amount, almost $4,600 a year in just premiums. But here's where people can get caught off guard. Let's say you retire at age 63 and you want to take a lump sum out of your 401k nest egg. Let's say you want to take out $200,000. You want to pay off the mortgage or buy an RV. Now that lump sum withdrawal counts as taxable income. And flash forward 2 years later when you turn 65 and you enroll in Medicare, Medicare is going to look back 2 years ago and see that $200,000 as income. And that's going to put you in the $200,000 IRMA bracket for that entire year. So here's the gist. If you're a high income earner, expect to pay more for your Medicare premiums. But also be careful about big tax-deferred withdrawals as well. They can push you real quick into a higher IRMA bracket. Okay, number 3 on the list is required minimum distributions, which are commonly called RMDs. We have a lot of acronyms and abbreviations in this video. RMDs kick in your early to mid-70s. It depends on what year you were born. And it's the government's way of making sure you don't just sit on that big 401k balance and just intend to give it to your heirs when you die without paying any taxes on it. Now, RMDs only apply to tax-deferred accounts such as 401ks, 403bs, traditional IRAs. RMDs do not apply to Roth accounts or HSAs. So on those accounts, they're not going to require you to withdraw anything. But when can RMDs really trip you up? Well, let's paint another scenario. Okay, let's say you retire at age 65. Your income, which will include Social Security and a pension, they'll cover all your living expenses. You've got a 401k balance of $750,000, but it remains untouched because you don't need to tap into it. Now, flash forward to age 73, and that 401k balance, it's grown. You know, we've had some good stock market returns, and it's grown to $1 million at this point. And at 73, now those RMDs, they kick in, they start. So how much do you have to take out each year? Well, the IRS, they have this formula, and it's based on the total amount of your 401k or your IRA and your life expectancy. Let's just use some simplified numbers based on the 2025 RMD tables, and I'm going to insert that chart here so you can see what I'm saying. According to this, they're required to withdraw $40,000 a year, whether they need it or not. That amount is fully taxable, and depending on your pension and even Social Security can come into play with your taxable income. What this will do is more than likely push you into a higher tax bracket than you were prepared for. It could cause a Medicare IRMA surcharge. It could reduce your eligibility for other benefits. So what can we do to make this situation a little different? Well, of course, we have to back up years back from age 73, because at 73, there's nothing you can do. You've got to take out what they say. But if we can do some planning years before then, in your 60s, maybe you start doing some Roth conversions with all of that tax-deferred money that you have, especially if you're tax-deferred heavy, which a lot of us Gen Xers are. That's where the majority of our money is in a tax-deferred account. But in your 60s, if you can start doing some Roth conversions, you could even start sooner than that. It just depends on, you have to take into consideration that every time you do a Roth conversion, you're going to have to pay taxes on it that year. You're never going to escape the taxes. But what you can do is maybe space those Roth conversions out. And, if this year particularly doesn't look like a really good year for you to do it, then don't do it that year. I mean, you have more control. You have options. Whereas when RMDs kick in, They want it every year like clockwork. Okay, number 4 is Medicare enrollment penalties. Now, I know this one up close. It happened to my mom. When she turned 65, she should have signed up for Medicare, but she didn't. Why? Because she felt that she could not afford the extra $150 Medicare premium. That's how much it cost back then. She had always been reasonably healthy and felt that she could put it off a little while longer. I had no idea. She managed her own finances at the time. But then she turned 70 and had a health emergency, and she went in with this health emergency totally uninsured. Now that's when I got involved and I helped her get enrolled. But what neither of us realized was that she was going to be penalized for the rest of her life because she did not sign up for it at age 65. She may have saved that $150 a month premium for 5 years, but now she's been paying way more than that every month. So how does it work? If you delay signing up for Medicare Part B when you turn 65, now there are some exceptions, like if you're still working and you have qualified health coverage through an employer. But otherwise, if you fail to sign up when you're eligible at age 65, they will penalize you 10% for every year that you remain uncovered. So in my mom's example, she was uncovered for 5 years. She's paying a 50% penalty on those premiums for the rest of her life. So the bottom line is don't wait, don't procrastinate, don't put it off. When you become eligible, of course, even before then, because you want to research your options, do what you can, everything that you can to get enrolled. And if maybe you have the same thoughts as my mom and feel like you can't afford those premiums, talk to someone at the Social Security office. Talk to them about Medicare assistance, savings programs, state-funded programs. They exist, but you have to ask about them. Number 5 is cashing out for big purchases. Remember that example from tip number 3 where someone takes a big withdrawal from their 401k because they want to remodel the kitchen or buy the RV or pay off the house? Let's say in this instance that we pull out $100,000 all at once. It sounds doable, right? Some of us Gen Xers will be turning 59 and a half soon, or may have already. And at 59 and a half, it's your money. You can start withdrawing it if you want to. No penalty. But penalty-free doesn't mean tax-free. So let's just break this down. Suppose you're still working and you're earning $50,000 a year at your job. You turn 59 and a half and you want to take out that $100,000 to do whatever it is that you've got planned. Now your income, taxable income, for that year has shot up to $150,000. What do you think that's going to do to your taxes when you fill those forms out? You've just elevated yourself to a much higher tax bracket, and you're going to get hit with a massive surprise tax bill. And here's a hidden landmine that people often miss as well. If you're getting your health care insurance from the exchange based on that $50,000 a year income, they're giving you credits for those expensive healthcare premiums. They're giving you credits, for that every month. And you have to, balance those out on your taxes at the end of the year. So when you come back and tell them, I had $150,000 over the year, not just the $50,000, they're going to want every single one of those credits back all at once. And I mean, we're talking massive. So not only do you have the enormous tax bill, but you're going to have to pay back all of those insurance credits all at once. And that's a big deal. And yes, it's your money. You worked hard for it. But if you pull out big lump sums like that, you're handing a great big chunk of it right back to Uncle Sam. And here's the other thing is that once it's out, it's no longer growing. You know, that $100,000 is no longer in there, compounding. Instead, consider taking those big chunks and breaking them down and spreading it out, spacing it out, taking them out in smaller installments. Just be strategic about it. Just know that everything you're taking out of there, whatever the amount is just be prepared. You're going to pay some extra taxes on it. But let's say you're 59 and a half and you're still working and you want to do something. You want to remodel that kitchen or speed up paying off that mortgage. Then maybe discontinue contributing to your retirement nest egg at this point and maybe funnel all of your extra money into that. That keeps you from drawing it out of that 401k all at once. Those are 5 of the most common retirement pitfalls, and they can literally cost you thousands of dollars that you probably won't be able to recover. But in part 2, we're going to look at traps that are even sneakier and possibly even a little more predatory in nature. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss that. Retirement is getting harder, and these pitfalls and traps, they're making it even more challenging for us. I want to be a voice that calls this stuff out for all my Gen X and Boomer friends. If this video does nothing more than cause you to do more research, then I consider my mission a success. If you found this information useful, please share it with those you care about. And if you're in your 50s and you feel like retirement is just out of reach, then check out this video next. I'll link it right here. Retire in your 60s by being boring in your 50s. Have a great week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.